All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Hello, ladies.
Hello. What about the ladies podcast?
Woo! Welcome back to What About the Ladies.
I am excited.
I'm excited too.
I am excited because with all the challenges, I don't know about you, but that I been facing, this upcoming weeks, and I'm glad that we're still pursuing this, pushing this, and I am so happy with the feedback, whether it's bad and good. Thank you for all the feedback, and all the stuff that you guys want to hear. I am planning on it. We are planning on it.
Yes.
To answer everybody's questions and topics of what you want to hear about. So
yes, and thank you for sending those in. We do appreciate all of the emails from you guys to help improve our podcast, to let us know what it is that you would like to hear from us. So
yes.
That's very exciting. We got a few emails, so that was good. So.
Yeah, I'm so happy about that. I really am. I know for me, I definitely wanted to do something that would just kind of share my experience, share what I've learned to help other women, to also grow in their journey, so I'm, my hopes is that, you learn something from what we discuss, or just laugh a little bit, or, like know as well that we're going through the same thing.
Yes, and you can overcome any challenges or anything that we're going through, and it's a journey together.
Yeah, so I love that. Now, before we get started, I do want to hit up on some people that responded. I'm not gonna say your names, but I did. If you were following on the social media, okay, I did do a few questions, and it said, "What was the most ridiculous thing you were scared of as a kid that makes you look back now and laugh?" Now, for me was Yoda. Now, but I didn't know that it was Yoda. Now I know that it's Yoda, and I feel silly even thinking that it was something scary. But back then, it was called the monster, and my grandfather, he didn't want us to go to the second floor of the house while they were babysitting us, and it was me and a bunch of my cousins and everything. So he would put the mask on the top of the staircase, and so if I was to try to go up there, oh my God, I was screaming, crying, oh my God, the monster, and I would just come running downstairs, and as much as I wanted to go up there, I couldn't. That green mask was just sitting up there with this weird looking face and head, and I just could not. And then now that I'm thinking back, I'm just like, bro, that was Yoda from Star Wars. Wow. That's so ridiculous. That's probably why my little other cousins were probably laughing at me, because they knew that it was Star Wars, and I did not know.
Oh, wow.
As messed up. So some of the answers were Gremlins, and I remember that was pretty...
Oh yeah, that Gremlin movie for sure. Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I got that. Got Gremlins, and then another question was, or the head out there, if you can only pick 2 free things for life, only pick 2. Free massages, free house cleaning, free gas, free makeup, free alcohol, or free pizza anywhere.
I didn't even see those.
So I got a few responses. I got one from Jessica. Free house cleaning and free gas. Bet. Yes. Free house cleaning, free gas. I don't got to worry about that. Yes.
Yes.
I agree to that. Another one from Olivia. Free gas and free pizza.
Those are my two, either between gas and house cleaning or pizza. But I can make my own pizza, so we'll go with the free house cleaning.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny. And then, let me see what else I got. An answer from what was the most ridiculous thing you were scared of as a kid that makes you look back now and laugh. And so another response was Chuck E. Cheese and clowns. I don't mess with clowns.
No, they don't bother me. No, I don't know. I don't think freaky. I was really scared of any.
I think after that, in the It movie, I'm like, nope, I'm done. Nope. No, I wasn't scared about like any characters, but definitely I know my sister, she was definitely scared of the Chuck E. Cheese and like just certain characters. And I don't know why. I was just like, maybe just their giant heads. I don't know. Or just like they're a big mouse. I don't know. I never experienced being afraid of like characters or anything, but it could be the head. I don't know. Look, I don't know. I think fears come from different things. So whatever experience of you seeing something like that, it can initiate that fear. But I don't think if I did, I don't remember what it was. But no. I thought that was so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I don't know why I was scared so much of Yoda, but I'm not scared about it anymore. Spiders and bugs.
Oh yeah, yes. Definitely. Charlie, she see a spider, oh, it's over. Yeah.
No, I'm done. Now I could do with the little itty bitty spiders, but the big ones that's out here with this furry and brown. No.
Yeah, I just killed one in Chloe's room this morning. These spiders are something different. I'm like, what? I think they're wolf spiders, or
I think so.
I think they're called. Charles said they're wolf spiders, but yeah, I'll mess with it. I'm like, we said we're gonna get the house like sprayed outside again, so it doesn't come in.
Yeah, I need to do that. I haven't done that, but I need to.
We haven't done it since we first moved here, and now we can start to see like more bugs outside around the house, more lizards, more frogs and different stuff. So it's like, yeah, gotta just maintain. I think it's every 6 months. Girl, we used to have a cat, but yeah, no.
Or just borrow one of those cats that's around my place.
Yeah.
So they can eat the lizards and the snakes.
Get them.
Because I noticed it's been less lizards around here, and I think it has to do with the amount of cats that are now in the back of my yard. But they're not my cats. I don't know who cats they are or who they belong to, but they love just chilling.
Yeah, like the little neighborhood cats. Yeah,
they're chilling on the chairs and everything. Just chilling. That's their spot.
Yeah.
So then Mia Bella, my daughter Mia Bella, we started like giving them a bowl of milk. So now there's a bowl of their milk.
Okay.
And then there's a brown one that she calls like orange brown one that calls Simba.
Okay.
And it's big. It's a big cat. So she's like, oh, that's Simba. Simba's back. He's drinking the milk. I don't know if it's a he or she, but I'm assuming. Oh my God. How was yours? How was your day or your weekend or your week?
It was good. Didn't have much action, just working. And that was pretty much, the same old. My life is the same. I go to work, come home, the kids, and of course, come to work on the podcast and doing a few other things I'm working on. But so far, so good.
Okay. And how's your garden?
Oh, it's going good. I actually planning to replant some of them. They are growing. Yeah. Bigger than the containers that they're in, they can fit in. So I need to replant them into some bigger things. So hopefully I'll get that done since I'm off the next few days.
That's good because the groceries, all the food stuff is going up. The prices are, every time I go to Walmart, the prices are higher. It is ridiculous.
I shop at Aldi, so my prices usually stay the same. Like Aldi's, I promise you, a family of 5 between $100 and $150 a week. I just plan out my meals, and that's like for everything. So I can't. I can see the increase in the prices, but from shopping at Aldi's, it doesn't really hurt me too much. Now, if I go to Publix, if I go to a different store outside of Aldi's, then it's for a specific item that Aldi's don't carry.
Yeah.
But other than that, my groceries be good. I don't worry, and they're not picky, so
that's good. I'm hoping that my kids will grow out of that picky stage. You know, Mia Bella, she's getting there now. She's liking the peanut butter and jelly, and forcing her to eat more rice and things like that, because at some point she just stopped wanting to have rice. I'm just like, girl, I'm like, we Hispanic, we eat rice every day. Come on, like, you gotta eat some rice.
Well, she might not want rice. Might not be something she likes.
Oh my goodness. She just she like pasta a lot. Pasta, like the spaghetti ones. All the other pastas, no. I don't know why. It tastes the same to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. So, ladies, all right. So, this might be a little heavy topic, but I don't want to go crazy into it. I'm not gonna act like I'm a saint. I'm not holy. I am not. I am far from it. Far. Yeah. I'm a sinner every day. Okay, I'm a sinner every day. But the topic did bring my attention. It did bring my attention. I heard it from other people, and they were talking about it. And I'm like, you know what? I will love to talk about it too. See what you think, and you let me know. Now, I wanted to talk about, and I'm bringing my tablet because I can't memorize scriptures. You might be good at memorizing scriptures, but I'm not good. I'm not good at that. So I gotta bring the tablet out, and I probably should have my glasses so I can see better. Okay, so what I would like to talk about is when you survive attacks in marriage. And you're like, okay, Amy, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Okay, so I'm not talking about a burglar, somebody coming into your home and stuff like that, because that was a whole different situation. Okay, we're getting ready for that, because there's some craziness out there. You need to prepare, okay? Prepare yourselves. Okay, but this is a different type of attack, and more in the spiritual realm, I guess. Now I do believe in the spiritual realm. Something obviously that you can't see, but is in a different world. It didn't, is this? I do believe that, and I'm glad that I can't see that. There are those that have that gift that they can see, those spirits and things like that. I know for one, I remember my sister was able to see spirits at some point, certain family members. And it was a very scary situation because they were seeing stuff, that we probably shouldn't see because, anybody would freak out, really. I mean, if I saw something crazy looking, I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, testing the sign next to you. You would think I'm crazy, But it's not that we're crazy. It's just that person have that gift and they can see, beyond that, visible wall that we can't see.
Yeah, we're just like physical beings having spiritual experiences. So
yeah, so I'm just like, and so I just thought that we should, we talk a little bit about that. So what I found out and learned, and I was looking, stuff up. Okay, so what does it mean when you survive attacks in your marriage? There is a spiritual warfare out there, whether you believe it or not. I do believe there is a spiritual warfare.
Oh, most definitely. You can tell just like with all the things that's going on in the world today, and it's just so hard because you read the Bible and you see different things that's in there starting to come to pass within our communities, within like how people are of course, we see it every day, killing one another, or people going crazy, or not necessarily, I don't even want to say like going crazy, but losing their mind, or like losing their ability to think consciously, or just like walking around wandering, not being the same. Like it's different things. So it's for sure
different. I know my spouse and I, we were talking about it the other day, that you know, they keep talking about more about these aliens and stuff like that, and you know, we're starting to think that they're gonna use that as to cover up when God takes us. That it was the aliens, you know. So we have a feeling that the aliens are not really aliens. The aliens are probably like either from the future, or like probably maybe angels, you know.
I don't know. I haven't gotten into all aliens and stuff. Like, you know,
there was a video, people keep filming, and there was one of them that I saw the other day, and it was I forgot what state, but they were looking up into the cloud, and they can see what looks like a human figure, or like a person walking on the clouds, and just whoop, you know, whoop. And I'm just like, you know, JC, my spouse JC, he wants to see it. He's just like, why is everybody able to see it and we have not been able to see it? He wants to see it. He wants to be able to like capture it and stuff like that. I'm like, me, I don't.
I feel like it's not meant for that. Like, if you believe, you believe. You don't have to physically see something. That's what faith comes into part, because the substance of faith, hope for the evidence of things not seen. So it's not meant for me to see it. If it's meant for me to see it, God will reveal it to me. If not, it's not meant for me to see it.
I'm like, if there's a kind of alien or whatever, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Like, when God takes me, I just take me. You know, that's it. I don't want to be here for the aftermath. Nope. I don't want to be here. Nope. No, but I understand that I need to work in myself to, you know, try to make sure I don't stay here. You know, and that we don't stay here, you know, and it's hard, you know, life is hard. And I mean, we sin every single day. So, I mean, I know I got to try to, like, you know, pray more, and it's hard to pray sometimes for me, and to like even forgive my own self. And that's a big thing. So that's a whole nother thing. But, so with so when you survive attacks in your marriage, so this was what I was reading and learning. So what I read, Satan is attacking your marriage, and what I learned is that if you have not done so, you would need to rebuke him and pray for protection for your family. And I agree to that. I do agree to that. I do agree that a spiritual battle needs to be fought in the spiritual realm. We cannot fight our own battles ourselves. That I have learned. I have tried to fight my battles myself, and I have failed every single time, because I'm not allowing God to be in the center of it, or even the center of where I want to be. And I know that when I tried not to have him in the center of what I want to go, where I want to be, I fall hard, so hard that it's stupid.
And I think that's big with how attacks come in, because ultimately when we're talking about attacks, what is an attack on your marriage? So an attack on your marriage can be a break in communication, a break in that break of trust, finances, other people, family, those type of things would be like deemed as an attack on your marriage. Anything that's breaking up your peace within your marriage, anything that's causing conflict, anyone that's causing conflict, that would be attacks on your marriage, because we know that Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy, and that can come in the form of people. It can come in the form of things. So keeping God first in your marriage is a big tool to help you avoid those attacks, or to help fight those attacks, because if you have God first, you're becoming one. When you get married, you ultimately are becoming one person. So if you can be on the same page, if you're united in Christ, you're united together, then you can communicate better. You can have those better conversations with each other, so you can recognize those attacks and you can fight them off as a team. Because my husband is the head, of course, he's going to be the head of the household, but I'm the neck. So guess what? Your head can't move without the neck. So we gotta work together as a team, so we can get this to form together, so we can be able to defend ourselves the way that we need to against those different attacks.
Yeah. And then for me, it took me a while to understand that, because most of us in our family, especially for the women, we just, I don't know, I guess try to like grow to build strong ourselves individually, like not try to depend on the man. And where I had to remind myself, okay, he is the man of the house, not me. He's the man of the house now. And it's sometimes hard. I find it hard sometimes to allow him to just be that,
to be submissive,
and to submit. And that was a big thing for me.
But I find that it's hard to submit if you can't. It's hard to submit when it doesn't feel like he's leading, So as long as and that goes to, is he keeping God first in his life? Because God will allow him to lead you in a direction. He's going to allow that man to step up. He's going to allow you to live in your soft girl area so that you can allow your husband to lead you. But I'm not going to let you lead me if I feel like we're going in the wrong direction. Right. If we're not going anywhere. Like we have to make sure we're on the same page of we're here, where we're trying to go, so we can ultimately it has to work as a team. Like it's a union. Like it's not going to work any other way.
So we had to learn the hard way, and I think because we were just so young when we got married.
Same.
And if we probably had that maybe meeting with the pastor, we probably would have figured out we were too young to get married, and we would have probably just not as gotten married that soon. We probably maybe hold back another year or so, so that we can grow ourselves, of where we wanted to be, as a couple. And so it took a lot, like especially the first year we were good, we were okay. And then it was like the second or third year where I find that most marriages, that's when stuff starts to it'll rock the boat a little bit. And I got uncomfortable because we had moved from Connecticut. We went down to Tennessee, and it was not what I had thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be an easy transition, just going from job to job, and it wasn't that, because we didn't have the job there set in stone. There was a struggle there trying to find a job, and the jobs that would we thought that would be good for us was too far, and we didn't have, unfortunately, enough funds or savings to just move out and dilly-dally like that far out. So we were trying our best in the situation that we were at, but it was to the point where we didn't have any food. We were sleeping on the ground. And I would just find myself every day just like, what am I doing? Like, yes, I love him. Yes, I want to be with him, but I don't want to be in this situation.
Right.
And we were there for a few months, and I was just like, I'm not down for this. I'm not. And so I left back to Connecticut.
But before you left by yourself to go back to Connecticut, but did you communicate to him that you didn't want to be in that situation to try to get to a result before going back?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can't correct something, or if I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong, because he could have been comfortable, in that situation.
Oh, no, we both knew we were not comfortable in the situation. Okay. This is not where we thought we were going to be. And, it was just like, I guess we didn't really know what to do at that point. And I was like, well, I'm going to go back to Connecticut. My sister was about to give birth, and I was like, I'm going to go there and be with her. And I used that as an excuse to get away from the situation and from dealing with the situation. And I did realize that was wrong of me. I eventually did go back. I left for like almost a month. And he thought I was not going to come back. And it took a lot of me to go back. And with certain family members, they did help me to understand, to, to fight back, fight for the marriage and everything. And something like that, I do understand where not everybody would go back. I get that. They don't want to be uncomfortable. And I realized that for me, or for us to move forward, it is going to be a little bit uncomfortable to get and grow forward to the next thing.
Most definitely.
But that took a lot for me to just understand. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I don't want to leave him. But it was really that second that it was just like, yo, we're about to go. I'm about to go my own way. Like, I know. Because I already had my career set, and I was doing fine just to, leave everything, leave my family to just follow him. So then follow his dreams, because we have all these dreams and everything that we wanted to do, and it's just not going in the direction that we thought it was going. And just because I felt uncomfortable, I was trying to leave.
Get out,
I was like, I'm out, But that was I would say one of the first trials, I think, in our marriage, that we stood together. And I mean, living really on the ground. I mean, we had like a mattress on the ground, clothes, we didn't have no drawers or anything, no TV, no nothing. And we were working in a mall, and we would go by around the food court, and that's how we would eat. So eating with the samples. I mean, it was bad. Like, it was bad.
But y'all stuck together though, and that took faith, that took commitment on both parts from you guys, that took a lot of strength, So all of those things combined, it took y'all to work together as a team, to trust each other. So as long as you have those things and you create that bond, then you're okay. Like, you can make it through anything, any attack that comes, you can face that together as long as you work together as a team. So that's good. I've the first attack I feel like we had was my husband's sickness. Like, we got married in 2014, August of 2014, and then like 2015 in March he was sick, like really sick. The first time I knew something was really wrong, like I couldn't wake him up. Like I would wake him up, he would get up, go to the bathroom, but he would just like sleep all day long, like really, really bad. So took him to the hospital. They said his CO2 level was elevated, which is like the carbon dioxide. His body was producing too much of it on its own, and was causing him to like sleep a lot. And I guess that was caused from sleep apnea, which was, like you stop breathing in your sleep, and now he sleeps with a mask and stuff. But before that, oh my goodness, like, he had been intubated twice. He's had a few lung issues, along like different heart stuff. Like, it was a lot for me, still trying to work, still going to school, still taking care of the 3 kids. Like, it was a journey, like, for sure. It took about 5 years of that, him not being able to work, me being the sole provider. And that was an adjustment, going from us both working jobs to him not being able to. And I had to step back and step into that role of, what am I going to do? And it was like, I'm married, we got to move forward, like, let's just figure this out. And we made it through that, like a 5-year span of him being sick. So that's getting married, that sickness and in health, like, you good, but then that sickness,
but then when it comes, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is really happening right now. And then it's like, and now that I'm married, and now that, some of the challenges I have faced, it's like, okay, I understand where some people just, maybe they weren't ready to be married, and they just leave, they get divorced because their spouse is sick. And I've seen it where they just, they're sick, they're sick too long, whatever. They don't want to deal with that.
Sometimes they can, a lot. Some people can't handle it because it is a lot. It's very challenging. It weighs a lot on you mentally, physically, the lack of sleep, the worrying, the crying, having to get to work an extra 2 hours early just so I could go in and check on him, to spend a little bit of time with him before I had to go to work, and I would just give the nurses my phone, because he would be in the same hospital that I worked in. So I would give them my hospital phone, and I would just say, "Hey, I'm upstairs," because he didn't know he wouldn't know if I was there anyway, because he was intubated, So I would do that, give him my number. I say, if anything happens, anything changes, just call me and let me know. And on my break, I would go down there. When I got off work, go down there, spend time, wait for the doctors to come in, and then go get the kids, go get them. It was just like my whole little routine for 5 years. So, it was definitely difficult. A lot of people ask me, like, girl, how are you doing it? I would have my moments. I would break down. I would cry. But I think it made us stronger, for sure. It helped build us a bond. It made us trust each other more, because I was the one having to make decisions on his life, not realizing a year after getting married that I would be having to
make me cry, girl.
that I would be having to make those decisions. But ultimately, I feel like it definitely deepened our bond and made us closer, and made it possible for us to be able to fight different attacks. When we notice or see something else coming along, it's like, if we didn't made it through that, if God has allowed us to make it through all of those things, then this is nothing. Like, we'll be able to survive this. We'll be able to get through it. We might cuss at each other. We might have a little argument here and there. Might get on my nerves. We're not going to sleep. We still going to sleep in the same bed. We don't do like separate couches or nothing. But every relationship is going to have its problems. Every relationship is going to have issues, but it's how you overcome it. As long as you keep respect first, number one, as long as you respect each other, treat each other the way you want to be treated, as long as you're keeping God first and moving in the way in which he would want us to move for one another, then I think you can definitely survive any attack on your marriage. Like, I've done it. I know I'm probably gonna have to do it a few more times, but it's a part of it. It's work. Marriage is work. Marriage is commitment. It's compromise. It's understanding. It's love. It's like all of those things.
Yeah. And I same, man. I mean, I haven't gone through the sickness like that, but I mean, when the challenges does hit, you gotta like determine, okay, what are you gonna do? You gonna move forward, or are you gonna have that, take control of your life, and that is what I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit, because sometimes we do blame the devil a lot for a lot of things, but we forget that God gave us our choice.
We have the ability,
we got the
choose.
freedom. Yeah. So if we right there, like, yes, it's an unfortunate circumstances where he got sick, but some people would not fight, and they would just allow. That's when allow like the sickness to just like make you crumble, make you just fall. And that's when Satan uses that opportunity when you're down, when you feel weak, and try to mess everything up.
And that's what makes it easy for those attacks and stuff to come in.
Yes. So that's why I wanted to just like kind of like clear that up, because Satan is not just be like, oh, he's gonna just go right in there. No. If he goes in when you leave the door open for him to come in, don't leave the door open to come in. So things like that. When it's a little bit messy, when it's a little bit uncomfortable, when you feel a little bit uncomfortable, ladies, stay strong. Pray.
Oh my goodness, for sure.
Fight, because that's when the enemy will try to come in and try to use when you feel low, when you feel weak, and try to talk, in your ear, like you're not worthy, like you're nothing. Because I used to get that, I used to get that a lot, and I used to have to like hush it up. I'm like, no, I am worthy. I am beautiful. I am awesome. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself.
Yeah, because those will create insecurities, which can also be an attack on your marriage.
Yes.
Having those type of thoughts will cause insecurities, and then you're thinking, well, what is he doing, and all that other stuff. Like, that's one thing I never had to deal with. I never had to think or had to question, but that also goes to, I feel like, trust. Because if that trust is broken, then you start having these other thoughts, all these other feelings in that. So it's important to keep those different characteristics and those different things in the forefront. And it's definitely hard because, you know, we're human. We have those little times where it wanders off and your mind gets to wandering and those negative thoughts start to creep in. But it's very important to keep in a positive mindset, to communicate with your partner, to get to some type of understanding. Now, is it easy? Because I feel like men and women are always on like two different wavelengths. Like we be thinking one way and then men be thinking like a whole different way. Like, why would you even think that? Like that was, you know, so the attacks, they do come, but they can be overcame. Now, I'm not saying if it's something that's absolutely intolerable, like don't stay in a situation or try to overcome something that's just absolutely, like if I'm getting beat, right? Like I just absolutely cannot. You know, situations have happened or situations will occur or whatever. It's up to you guys to determine if you can move forward from that situation. If you can't move forward, that's just something that, because it's only 3 people in your relationship. It says too, is God first, you and your spouse, and there's always his side, your side, and the truth, because we all experience things differently. We have different perspectives on things. We can be sitting here having the same situation, and I can see it one way and you can see it a different way. So it's all about acknowledging your feelings, acknowledging whatever it is that you're feeling, you acknowledging what I'm feeling, and then we come to a compromise and try to figure out a solution to whatever the problem is. So that's how I feel we get through our attacks. But some days it's easy, some days it's hard, some days we're not going to talk about this right now. We have to have this conversation another day because I'm going to be in a whole different level. And I had to learn that, because I would want to keep going because I felt like we got to talk about it. We got to get it out. We got to go. But I had to realize, like, that's not my husband. Like, he needs to collect his thoughts, because you know, like, he'll get angry.
Don't say it's something that's gonna hurt the other person. That I took a lot, because I used to, oh my gosh, if you said something that I didn't agree or I didn't like, I would go off like a chihuahua, like serious, like yo. And it took a lot for me to learn. Like, I don't curse as much as before. I'm not gonna get louder. If there's something that upset me, you know, I'm gonna wait till I calm down, you calm down, and I'm like, you know, Destiny, I didn't like what you said. That hurt me, you know. Or to tell my spouse, you know, like, and it took a lot for me to even get there, you know. But again, I'm young.
You know? Same, because I married him when I was 18. Well, I didn't marry him when I was 18. I met him when I was 18. We got married when I was 24. And he's 11 years older than me. So, you know, like, having that age gap.
Also, we got married the same thing. See, I got married like around, I think it was like 22, 23. So, I mean, ladies, you got married that young. I mean, this is a challenge.
But they used to get married younger than that. You know, like, back in the day, they would get married at like 13. Have children, you know, get married off and stuff like that. And like, I had when we would have arguments in the beginning, I would tell him, like, I've never been a wife before, and he would say, well, I've never been a husband before, you know. So that made us reach out to our village, to people that we knew that had been married for a long time, people that I knew had growth and stuff in their marriage. Like, I reached out to different couples that had 30 years of marriage, 20 years of marriage. What did you do? How can I get through it? Different things like that. And that helped us a lot. Like, we've literally sat down and had conversation with different couples to help us move along within our marriage, and those type of things definitely help.
Same
it definitely helps build it up.
I know he used to go to his mom a lot. They've been married for a long time. My mom went through.
Girl, you got me up here crying, like, Jesus.
I mean,
this
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
supposed to be that.
It was gonna be a tough conversation.
Like, goodness. But this is a part of healing. Like, crying is a part of healing. But I feel like I've healed through it. But anytime I talk about it, I just definitely get emotional. Because you get to thinking about it and feeling that experience and stuff. But I'm definitely grateful we made it through that.
Same here. And I like that, you know, we're very different but very similar at the same time. You know, we just
have gone through so much in our life, and I'm glad that we're able to just come together and bring a solution, based on what steps that we did, to get through the challenges that we have to face in our marriage.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's not
easy, especially when you get married. Well, you know what? It doesn't even matter when you got married, because you don't know what happened before when you got, because my mom got married 3 times.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do it again after this one. It's too much work. Look,
okay.
If it's
the first one is unfortunate. He passed away, and then the second one was with my dad, and he also had passed away. But even with my dad, it was challenging because I guess when I was young and I can't remember, and it's probably maybe I have blocked it out. I did thought about going to maybe a therapist to clear that up, because there's certain parts of my life I don't remember, and I think it's because I have literally suppressed all that trauma. And
it could be.
I thought about that, and I did a little bit of therapy when I got a bit older, and it did help. But I really thought about reaching out to someone who can, I don't know, hypnotize me or something.
Oh my goodness.
You never know. Because I want to know. I want to remember. Because sometimes my family will be talking about stuff, and I'm just like, I don't remember that at all. Or even with my friends, oh, you remember this? No,
but see, I think that comes from having different experiences. Like I said, we can both be sitting here, and I can have one, and you, my experience might not be your experience. No. So you might not remember something that I would remember, and I might not remember something you will remember. But that doesn't mean that the experience didn't happen. I
don't know. But yeah, so my mom, okay, so according to my mom's people, they said that my dad abused her. At sometime I don't recall that at all. I'm sorry, I don't. I remember all the good stuff. So
and they could have portrayed that for you though. That side could have been hidden,
maybe,
and only certain people could have known. So
yeah,
it's not necessarily that you don't remember. It wasn't presented in front of you. Your
Yeah.
dad's not gonna let you know that that's something that he was doing to your mom, or that was around, or he didn't do it around you. It could have been in private. She could have been hiding it from you to protect you, or just so you didn't see those type of things. So
that is true.
I mean,
that is true.
That could be why you don't remember.
Probably I don't remember.
But you just found out about it when you got older.
Yeah, and then so that was marriage.
And I wouldn't want to remember none of that. You want to get hypnotized to remember the trauma, girl?
No, I want to remember the trauma. Just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's always a bad thing to suppress so much. Because I don't want it to just come out of nowhere. I don't know if that's healthy.
Of course that's not healthy, but you definitely have to get finding yourself, get to the traumas and figure out what's going on. But I don't know if I would want to just to find out I don't remember this. I want you to hypnotize me so I can figure this out. No, I don't know about that.
Maybe not.
Yeah, because we gonna keep it right where it said. You stay suppressed right where you at. And if it come, it come. If it don't, I'm not going to look for nothing now. If it come up, it come up. Then we will deal with it then. But I'm definitely finna go be looking for it. Absolutely not. You keep that over there. I'm gonna keep my peace. No.
Okay. Then I won't get hypnotized. I thought that may be interesting. I don't know.
You go right ahead and let me know how that go. Absolutely not. There you go, opening up them doors to another realm you might not be ready for.
That's true. Yeah, I'll just leave that closed. That's yeah. Thank you, Destiny.
Girl, no.
I told you.
I mean, look, whatever you want to do, but me, look, you do you, I'ma do me. I cannot. No, I don't know.
Oh man. But not for real. I mean, my mom 3 times in the third marriage, he was alcoholic, and I don't know if my mom is into bad bad boys or something.
You might be gay. Never know.
He's good. He's good now. He don't drink anymore, which is great. He's gone a lot of years without drinking anymore. So.
But see, that was just a part of his journey. That was one part of his life, and you never know what he was going through. I feel like people that's drinking a lot or having those substance abuse problems with things like that are suppressing things. They're trying to escape. That's their way of escaping whatever it is. And if they're using those or doing those type of things, they got to figure out what you got to do, because after you finish those, the drinking or the getting high, whatever it is that the substance of choice, that problem is still there.
Exactly.
That issue is still there. It doesn't go away.
But I think because growing up with my mom and having to see her push and fight for her marriage and everything, and that helped me in my marriage, to remember, okay, to pray, to focus, to make sure we can communicate. But I know a lot of marriages don't have that, and they don't have that person to look up to, or that person to rub it back, you're okay, and so
that support.
So even though we're far, ladies, we're supporting you. We're there.
Definitely. Now, I'm not going to tell you my marriage not perfect.
No.
It does. Look, we have stuff goes on.
Yes.
But we do, I feel like we are a great team. We balance each other out. It definitely it's great. It's definitely a lot of work, but it's great. Yeah, it is.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I think I'm going to have to use the bathroom. I think I drank too much water.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
you said. Let me know.
Okay.
Let me know, and I'll cut. Okay. All right. So I can't. I just wanted to read a couple scriptures, just a little bit, and that I have found. Okay. And man, I wish I would have told. Okay, so maybe if you do go to the bathroom, that I can go grab this little mannequin thing, so I can show what it looks like.
Okay, so we're gonna end up having to take a break because
we're gonna take a little break and we'll come back.
I have to use the bathroom
because I forgot it, and I wanted to show it. Because, anyways, I'll let you know later. Snap.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Again. We had to take a quick break.
We had to do a quick break, potty break. But while we're on the break, let's do the little icebreaker as well. And I think the icebreaker that we chose was to wear the period underwear.
Okay, so first our icebreaker came from an email.
Yes.
So for this month, our icebreakers will be coming from the emails that we have received. And I think this icebreaker was period panties or no period panties. Yes. Well, I don't have periods right now because I am on birth control, and I don't have periods because I have the IUD, and I'm so grateful for that. Some people are against it, some people for it. It just works for me. Whatever works for you works for you. What works for me works for me. And me not being pregnant and having any more children right now works for me. Yeah. But I do know people who have had the period panties and say that they like them, that they are good. But for me personally, I don't, because I don't have periods. Now I do look like a panty liner, but other than that, no.
Okay. I am also on my birth control, but I still get my menstrual cycle. Mm-hmm. I'm the pill form. Not the best, to be honest, because if you do forget, nothing happening. Nothing happening for you, your spouse. Sorry, and we don't want to have another one either.
Girl,
that's how my second one appeared.
I mean, like, if it happens, it happens. But I'm like,
no, God,
I just don't want it. Like, because I've heard of people get pregnant on the IUD. Like, I've heard of women that can still conceive. So I'm like, Lord, if it's definitely meant if I get pregnant. That's but it's been 7 years. I've been holding strong. So we gonna.
That's true.
No, Lord.
That's true. No, I definitely did want another one. So I was okay. But right now, like, I can't deal with another one. My body really physically can't deal with another one. Like, I would be concerned for my own health. If I were to get pregnant again, it's not going to be a good situation for me or the child. So medically purposes, that's why I'm not having another children. So don't ask. It's going to be no.
Yeah.
But for the underwear, I probably would try it. I haven't tried it. So you know what? I'm going to try it because my menstrual cycle is coming up soon. So I wouldn't mind.
Okay, I didn't know all that.
You know what? This is what about the ladies.
It's coming up. We got to know when you have your period. God.
Because I'm not gonna know if it's good or if it works well.
Oh, so you're just gonna try it, so you're gonna know, and then
because I did try this. Because I usually use like Always or something. I think that's Always. Oh, is what with A? I don't know. Something with an A. But
I used the
But this one I got. I bought it in bulk, thinking it would be better or just the same quality, but it was not. It felt plasticky and it was very irritating. But because I bought in bulk, I've been using it, but it's very, very uncomfortable. And I'm happy to say I'm at the end of it, so then I could buy something else.
Yeah,
because it's very uncomfortable.
I don't know, because all like the chemicals and stuff that they have in those, I try to get what was it? I forget. I think it's dye-free. Not necessarily dye-free, but it's some chemical-free, the organic ones. Because, like, I even noticed with my daughter. Oh, Lord, I don't even want to say. Well, with my daughter. She started. And I gave her the regular, like, not Always, but it was just like a regular brand.
Yeah.
And she was having really bad stomach cramps. Really bad. But once I changed to the other brand without all of the extra, like, the organic ones.
Yeah.
Same day, didn't feel it, didn't have like none of the extra symptoms. She was up, like she wanted to go ride her bike and stuff. I'm like, you okay? Like you good? Like you want to go ride your bike? So, and they say like the extra physical activity with doing it can help too. So that was good. But yeah.
So I'll try it and I'll let you know. I'll put it on social media or something, and put the little question on there. Would you wear it or not wear it, and let you know what I think.
But thank you for that email, and thank you for that question. It was a weird. I won't say weird, but hey,
no, but it's a good question.
It is a good question because a lot of people like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I know when I did have my periods were very heavy, so I would use a tampon and a pad. Because it would be, and that would be like a super tampon,
extra super,
and a super pad. So now that I don't have periods, I don't have to really worry about that anymore.
I found and I found this through my mom, because she's getting older. You're getting to that stage where sometimes you leak, and you would think that you get this from having kids, but you can get it even without having kids, because I didn't have my kids vaginal.
Oh, like a weak bladder, you mean?
Like a weak bladder, yeah. So this just happens something with your muscles where it's just you leak.
Oh, yeah.
So she uses Discreet, and I was like, what's Discreet? And so she told me about it. She's like, oh, this is what because sometimes if you're like on a long trip. And I was like, what? I'm like, so I was like, let me try this on a long trip, because sometimes I gotta go. I'm sorry, and there's no bathroom nearby. I'm
so
like,
what is that like a adult diaper?
It's kind of
like pull-ups.
It's like a liner, but it absorbs like a diaper. It absorbs the leak. So let's say you're like, you gotta go, you're far or whatever, there's a little leakage, it will absorb it and it'll keep your underwear dry. And it'll keep you dry. And I like that. So I was like, I wonder how that worked with the period, because we're on your menstrual cycle, because I also use the one you go inside, and then I usually just use the pad, but that would not absorb the leakage. That would still go and it just be messy, and I hate that. I'm like, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna use Discreet and I'm gonna use a tampon, and that was like a perfect combination. So I don't know if that works for you. I know that's kind of weird conversation, but
we just answering the email.
It might work out for you too. So Discreet and a tampon, and hey, it worked.
Whatever works for you, girl.
No, to just finalize what we were talking about before, I wanted to read a scripture, and hopefully for believers and non-believers to kind of get an idea of what the scripture is saying visually. And I got this little sculpture that my mother-in-law had given to my spouse. I think it was like for Father's Day, and it's one of his favorite, to be honest. And I loved it. I was like, this is really awesome. So I'm just gonna read what it says in the scripture.
You want me to hold it while you're reading?
Yeah. So then if you could point out to what it is. So let's say the same. So You can find the scripture. You can read it yourself for anybody. Ephesians 6:13-18. Okay. Says, therefore, put on the armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having the utility belt of truth buckled around your waist, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having fitted your feet in the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking up the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the evil one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, with all prayer and request, praying at all times in the Spirit, and being watchful to this end in all perseverance and request for all the saints. And so this, like, it shows you like what to put on. So when you feel that challenge, so now that I'm like learning, again, I'm not saying I'm not holy or anything. This is something that I'm doing for me, to help me grow in my journey. When I have a challenge, I think about the scripture and what I have to do daily when I go outside, even for my child, because nowadays these schools are going bananas, and I sometimes worry about, what's going to happen to my child going to school. And this scripture reminds me, put on that armor, put on that shield, put on that sword, put on that helmet, because when you leave your house, enemy is waiting for you. The enemy is waiting to just mess up with your life, whether it's at work, whether it's the person behind you driving, beeping you the horn and making you go bananas. So, and they love to just tempt you. So I have personally agreed to focus on these 3 things. 1, pray, focus on God in your marriage. Number 2, prayer to be equally yoked. That helps.
Definitely.
That helps.
That is for sure.
Number 3, prayer against temptation. You know there's temptation every day.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I am a sinner every day. So I got to pray for myself. So I don't get tempted, and sometimes I slip. I do. It happens. I'm human. I'm sorry.
So for me, I guess to summarize, I do agree with, for sure, praying to be equally yoked. That is for sure. That being unequally yoked with your partner will definitely cause conflict and can increase attacks on your marriage. Communication, that is the big reason I feel like a lot of marriages fail or can't thrive or succeed, is because the lack of communication. Because if you don't have communication, one person's doing one thing, say if making even as simple as making a doctor's appointment. If you don't communicate with me the date that your appointment is, you don't know if I have something to do that day. What if, I need to take the kids somewhere or something else needs to be done? We have to communicate so we can be on the same page with our schedules, just with us as individuals. Like communication is a big thing. Making sure, again, having that trust, having all of those things that I mentioned earlier, are very important roles for us to survive those attacks on your marriage. Keeping God first, of course, but also realizing and taking self-accountability to make sure to see what role that you are playing individually, because you can't just place all the blame and always want to say, oh, my partner this, my partner that, because you have to be accountable for yourself and some of the things that you're doing as well, because you're not perfect. None of us are, and I know some things that I'm doing may be affecting the way he's coming across or something like that. So we have to get on one page with those type of things. But the attacks come. You can overcome the attacks in your marriage. But both parties have to be willing. Both parties have to be on the same page. It's like playing a sport. If one teammate or is off or having an off game, sometimes it'll throw everything off.
true.
So it's important for the opposite spouse to uplift the other spouse. I might have to pray a little bit more for my spouse. I might have to take on those extra roles, how I had to continue to be the sole provider for a little bit until my partner was well enough to get back into that role and step back into fulfill that role in our lives again. But it's all about recognizing what the issue is, being able to come together as a team and overcome it together, because ultimately you overcoming attacks in your marriage is honoring God, because you're keeping that commitment of staying together, staying connected as one, and letting no man separate what God has joined together. So yeah.
You can do it, ladies. You got this like a boss.
Because you a boss.
You got it. You know, I again agree, following these steps, helping, you know, and again, I'm not saying holy or anything, but if these things, if you apply them, I do believe they will help in your marriage as well.
Yes, that they have helped us thus far. I've been married for, I don't know.
I've been married since 2009.
Ooh, that's the year I graduated high school. Oh, Lord. I graduated in 2009.
And I've been with him since 16. So we were dating since the age of 16, of me when I was 16. And we got married in 2009. So that's a very long time.
So I met my husband in 2009. I graduated in June. And then I met him in August of 2009. And then we got married at 14. We got married in 2014. 2 kids later, I pregnant with my first child. Cherish was about 4 when I got married, and then Charlie was like 6 months. And he wanted to get married after the first one, and I was just like, just because we have a baby together don't mean we gotta get married. Yeah, you know, like wasn't ready for that. But honestly, I don't think neither one of us was really ready at that time, and I'm glad we did wait. We did do it that way, you know, but ultimately it worked out. That's what worked for us, and here we are all these years later, you know, still going.
I'm hoping our experiences does help you ladies, you know. Definitely, you know, give us your feedback, what you think about the whole spiritual realm and everything, you know, or what steps that you maybe have taken, and we can apply it and tell others, you know, as well on the podcast. If you have any questions or the little icebreaker things, you know.
Yes, or if you would have an icebreaker you would like to send in for us to tell you our thoughts about, let us know, and we will definitely put your icebreaker inside of our podcast.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't want to forget. Okay, so starting soon, we mentioned it a couple times in the episodes. Okay, so for small businesses, if you like to sponsor us, or you know, want to do like a little ad or anything, we are going to be doing that very, very soon. This is a whole new thing for us, so we're just, you know, getting adjusted. Please email us at whatabouttheladies@gmail.com. Okay, and I promise we will contact you very soon. Okay,
bye. Hello.